Hello eye tracking community, my name is Michael and in this tutorial I will show you how you can combine the metadata feature and the filter component in Blickshift Analytics to set up a filter cascade in order to group your participants by different characteristics. On the screen we can see a data set with 9 participants. So first let's visualize these 9 participants. I make a right click here on the data source and then I choose Visualizations, Scan Path. I zoom in a bit by pushing the Control key on the keyboard and using the mouse wheel. I select all the participants with the menu, so check all, and here I can see now all the participants on one screen. These participants, I already have assigned some demographic data to these participants. If you want to learn more about how to assign metadata to your participants or to your data model, please have a look at this tutorial. So now let's have a look at the demographic data. I go to the project manager and here I select P1 and here I can see the 2 data fields, gender and age, which I've assigned to the participants. So P1 is a male participant at the age of 36. P2 is a female participant at the age of 56, P3, P4, and so on, all have this demographic data being assigned to them. And now is the question, how can I group these 9 participants by these different characteristics? One way is to use here the Group By feature in Blickshift Analytics. So I click here on Group By. Blickshift Analytics automatically selects the first metadata field for me, which is gender, and sorts or groups the participants by the characteristics of their gender, so female and male. I can, for example, deactivate, for example, the male participants, and then on the screen I can see only the female participants. I can change this now and say I'm now interested in the age. So I select age here and here I can see now the female participants automatically selected with the different ages. Since every participant has a different age, Blickshift now sorts them all in different groups, which makes not really sense at this point. In a larger data set, of course, there could be different participants with the same age. But now how can I combine that? So first I want to filter with respect to the gender and next to the age. And this is easy in Blickshift Analytics. So first of all, I go to the Visual Elements data source. I make a right click, I choose Analyses, and here I choose the filter component. In this filter component, I again use the Group By feature and activate, for example, only the female participants. So we have now these 4 female participants here. Now I want to group them by their age, so perhaps there's a younger group and an older group. And this works like that. I add another filter. So I choose Analyses and then I choose a second filter behind the first filter. And here now, since the first filter filtered with respect to the gender and only let pass the female participants, only the female participants are now in this list. And here I can select now the age, for example, and can say, okay, now I'm interested only in the older ones, for example. So let's deactivate the younger participants. So I say now everybody who's, let's say, younger than 35, I'm not interested, but I'm interested in the older ones. So I have here now selected the older ones. When I click now on filter 1 here and make a right click and say Visualizations, Scan Path, only these 2 older female participants are now available as an input for this Scan Path visualization. And when I select the second one as well, Blickshift shows me only this group. For convenience and for having a better overview about my data flow, I rename now this second filter and say female participants older than years, for example. And this is this one data flow. If I'm now interested in having a look, for example, on the male participants, I can create a second data flow. And it works like in the first way. I make a right click on the visual elements. I choose the filter component. Here I group by the gender. I select only the male participants. And here I can rename that as well. So let's say male. This is something which I can do here as well. So here we have the female participants. And now I add a second filter, analysis filter. And let's say here I'm interested in the younger participants. So let's group them by their age and then select here the first two ones, the first three ones. I again rename and I create now a visualization using only this data stream. And here I can see now only the young male participants, for example. So we have now two data streams going through the application, ending here in two different types of visualizations for these two. And depending on your data structure, you can add as many as you like demographic data fields to your data and can set up such a filter cascade for filtering your data with respect to these different groups encoded in the demographic data, respectively in the metadata. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, push the like button, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell so that you'll never miss a new tutorial on this channel. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.